Top 10 Bizarre Beasts You Won't Believe Exist. Number 10. Lamprey. This terrifying creature is a lamprey, a parasitic predator that has been around for millions of years. Their mouth expands wider than its own body, revealing a nightmarish jaw lined with rows upon rows of razor-sharp teeth. These aren't for chomping flesh, mind you. No, these are designed for a purpose far more horrifying. Attaching themselves to other fish, they rasp a hole through the skin with those teeth and then slurp up blood and bodily fluids. And the worst part? The prey is usually still swimming around while this horrifying feast is happening. But lampreys aren't just creepy. They are a serious threat. In places like the Great Lakes, they've become invasive, decimating populations of salmon and trout. These living nightmares dwell in rivers, lakes, and even oceans. 38 species stalk the depths, a silent, unseen army waiting for their next unsuspecting victim. Number 9. Ravine Trapdoor Spider. If you see this on the ground, don't pick it up. Did you know there are spiders that make hidden traps? This is the Ravine Trapdoor Spider. It has an unusual body shape with a plump abdomen that looks like it's been sliced off. The back of its abdomen is a tough, flat, circular shield resembling an Oreo. They craft elaborate tunnels lined with silk. But the coolest part is the entrance, a cleverly disguised trapdoor. Look closely, and you'll see how well it blends in with the surrounding soil and leaves. It's almost invisible to unsuspecting insects. It waits inside its burrow for insects and other arthropods to walk by. And when prey comes close, the spider leaps out and snatches it. However, if a predator tries to enter the spider's burrow, the spider will run to the bottom and plug the entrance with its shield. The shield is so tightly fitted that it's almost impossible for the predator to get the spider out. Number 8. Horned Lizard. This might just be the most shocking defense mechanism in the animal kingdom. This little guy is the horned lizard, and it can shoot blood from its eyes. That's right. When threatened, it builds up pressure in its head, inflates its spiky neck, and fires a stream of blood from its eyes. This blood comes from special ducts near the corners of their eyes and can travel surprisingly far, up to 3 feet. This does not only confuse the attacker, but it also smells rather bad, which makes enemies turn their backs and run. However, it only uses this defense strategy when feeling seriously threatened because this action makes it lose up to 1/4 of its blood. But this is not the only odd thing. The horned lizard's large, flat body acts like a built-in solar collector. When it's cool, it will sprawl out to soak up the sun's rays. But when things get too hot, it burrows with a vibrating head and some body shimmies, disappearing underground to escape the scorching heat. Number 7. Giant Weta. This is the largest and heaviest insect in the world, the giant Weta. This insect weighs up to 71 grams and measures up to 10 centimeters without counting its long antennae or its powerful legs. Being the largest insect documented in history, it surpasses in weight and size a small bird such as a simple sparrow. But don't be scared. These guys are total herbivores, munching on leaves and flowers all night long. They're kind of like the chilled giants of the insect world. They prefer to avoid conflict and would rather scurry away and hide than fight. These insects play an ecological role similar to that of rodents in nature, preying on small, dead or diseased insects. During the day, the Weta hides in the holes made by beetles, which it enlarges with its powerful jaws. At night, it hunts its prey or forages on plant food. Number 6. Northern Stargazer. There's a fish that transforms itself into living sand to ambush its prey with a lightning-fast strike. This is the Northern Stargazer, a master of disguise and a sneaky predator. They've got a flattened, speckled body with a giant head that looks permanently surprised. But that head serves a special purpose. Their eyes and mouth are located right on top of their head, perfectly positioned for spotting unsuspecting prey swimming by. And here's the coolest part. That little pink lure dangling above its mouth is actually a modified fin that the stargazer wiggles to mimic a tasty worm and attract curious prey. Once a fish gets close enough, bam! It sucks it up with its powerful mouth in the blink of an eye. They are found along the Atlantic coast of the United States between North Carolina and New York. They're not giants. They measure only 20 to 46 centimeters long, but they're definitely one of the most unique-looking fish you'll ever see. Number 5. Bearded vulture. This is the only bird species that eats primarily bones. This feathered mountain dweller is the bearded vulture. But how do they manage to swallow these enormous bones whole? These massive birds, with a wingspan reaching up to 2.8 meters, are one of the largest flying birds in Europe. They have a specially adapted body to eat bones. Their esophagus is incredibly elastic, allowing them to force down large bones, and their stomach is so acidic that it dissolves bones, skin, teeth, and even hooves. However, even these superstomachs have limits. So for the extra large pieces, these brainy birds carry the bone high up in the sky and, with impressive precision, drop it onto rocks like a bomb, shattering the bone into bite-sized pieces, making it a delicious, crunchy snack. Despite their intimidating size and bone-crushing ways, bearded vultures are actually scavengers, playing a vital role in keeping mountain ecosystems clean. Number 4. Armored cricket. Ever seen a cricket with built-in armor? Look at this. This large, flightless insect is the armored cricket. They are covered in spines on top of the thorax. Their jaws are strong enough to draw human blood, and they're not shy about using them if you get too close. But why all the armor? Well, these little tanks live in harsh environments, and predators are everywhere. First, there's the spiky armor, like a built-in suit of thorns. If that doesn't scare off a predator, males unleash a loud, harsh noise when attacked. Still not convinced? If armor, spines, jaws, and noisiness fail, this cricket will squirt hemolymph, insect blood, from behind their legs and head. And if all else fails, they vomit. Yes, they'll regurgitate their last meal and cover their entire bodies with vomit to make themselves extra unappealing. But the weirdness doesn't stop there. These guys are cannibals. That's why after a blood-spraying or vomit-fest defense tactic, they clean themselves up real quick. No one wants to be next on the menu, right? Number 3. Wabag Gong. This is the Wabag Gong, a carpet shark. See those fleshy flaps around its head? That's not seaweed. It's actually modified skin flaps that look like algae and swaying seagrass. This amazing camouflage lets this shark blend perfectly with the seafloor like a living lumpy rug. Can you spot it? Unlike most sharks, they don't constantly swim. They wait motionless for a careless fish or crustacean to wander by, and then bam! The Wabag Gong lunges with surprising speed. Its powerful jaws are equipped with rows of sharp needle-like teeth that snap shut with incredible force, so escape is almost impossible. But the Wabag Gong's appetite isn't limited to just fish and crustaceans. These opportunistic predators are known to take down even other sharks. Their impressive jaws and teeth allow them to tackle prey much larger than you might expect, including smaller shark species. Number 2. Glass squid. This incredible, nearly invisible creature is the glass squid. Unlike other squids that hide in colorful coral reefs, they live in the boundless waters of the twilight or mesopelagic zone. With no protective shell and nowhere to hide, they need to get creative, and transparency is key to thriving in a home with few places to hide. But how does this marvel achieve its invisibility? The glass squid possesses a remarkable adaptation: tiny sacs called chromatophores. Most squid use special sacs to change colors and camouflage, but the glass squid has a unique trick. It can shut these sacs down completely. No color, no disruption, just perfect invisibility. Glass squids spend their lives going with the flow, literally. Filled with ammonium chloride, a solution that's lighter than seawater, they float effortlessly through the ocean in search of mates and food. Number 1. Bloody bellycomb. Jelly. That's the bloody bellycomb jelly, a real-life bioluminescent wonder. These fascinating jellies aren't actually true jellyfish, but belong to a group called comb jellies. They get their name from the rows of hair-like cilia that shimmer on their bodies. These cilia beat back and forth, creating a dazzling rainbow effect as light refracts off them. But the real star of the show is the bloody belly's namesake, its bright red belly. Here's the twist. This crimson belly isn't just for show. The deep sea is a dark and mysterious place, and many creatures there use bioluminescence like a built-in flashlight to attract prey or ward off predators. The bloody bellycomb jelly is a predator itself, and its prey can also be bioluminescent. Scientists believe the red belly acts like